Together, we're exploring the intersection of faith, biology, and the signals that shape how we heal.
You'll hear conversations about nervous system safety,
peptides, and cellular communication,
prayer, trust, and what it means to live aligned with design.
No hype,
no pressure,
just curiosity, relationship, and truth.
Welcome to Prayer and Peptides.
I am so excited for this week. We are going to talk about a conversation that doesn't always get talked about in a real honest way. And if you know the other background of my life, we're going to talk about financial health. And we've got a wonderful guest on to kind of give us his firsthand real world experience.
And he's not only going to talk to us just about money, but this man is the master of talking about mindset, the struggle, the growth, and the transformation that comes with it.
Absolutely. And you know what's coming? I'm going to give you the word of the episode, and you're going to go into the comments right now and type finance. And that's going to enter you to win some fun peptides. We always like to give away things. So make sure that you're dropping into the show notes and seeing all the ways that we can connect with our special guest, and drop finance into those comments and get entered to win. It really helps the channel. Please, please. Thank you.
And really, let's just stop and remember this. Finances is an area that affects so many different things in our life. It can affect our sleep, our mood, and our mental clarity.
And money can often influence our food choices and our healthcare access and our supplements and wellness habits and our ability to rest and to take time off.
And money is one of the most common sources of tension in relationships. When finances are unstable, communication, trust, and emotional connections can get strained.
It also will really determine how much mental space you have. Think about it. Can you make choices freely, or are you constantly reacting to bills and pressure?
So today we're joined by a special guest, our friend Tug, who's going to walk us through his story. And let me just say, it's not a straight line. It's real, it's raw, it's relatable. And you're not going to want to miss this episode.
Absolutely not, because I get the privilege of introducing this man tonight. And let me tell you, so whether you're in a season of rebuilding, if you're in a season of building, or just trying to figure things out, this episode is absolutely for you. I'm going to be honored to introduce Tug Brooks tonight. He is one of the most incredible speakers, but also person that I love dearly. One thing that I'm always blown away is his commitment to making sure people are seen, that they are heard, and they feel valued. Not only that, he is an amazing father, a single dad that has been able to walk in his faith and really navigate life and help support people. And he doesn't brag about this much, so I'm honored to say it. He's also a $20 million earner on the social space. He knows what he's doing. He's a businessman. He's driven to make an impact. And what he does not only impacts his family, but anyone he reaches, he makes sure he makes an impact on theirs.
Tug, thank you so much for being here today. Before we even get started, I just have to say this. There is a phrase, and every time I hear it, there is only one person I think of, and it's you. And that phrase that I hear is, let's go.
Let's go. So guys, first of all, thank y'all for having me on here. Like, what a blessing to be a part of this. I love what y'all's passion is. I love that you are out here looking to make a difference in the world. And I think you guys know that that's my heart as well. And I'm just so blessed to be able to work with people that care, right? Like, one of the best things about this industry is that you work with the finest people. Like, we would not even know each other if it were not for this industry. And so I'm just so thankful and so honored to be invited here tonight. I've seen some of the guest speakers that y'all have had on here, and just to have my name in those categories is pretty cool. So my story 8 years ago is really where I'm going to start, even though I've been a part of this industry since I was 18 years old. Right? Like, it dates all the way back to Amway when I was 18. And so while I didn't have success, I did see something that I can never forget. I saw a way for people to change their lives. Like, you didn't have to be rich. You didn't have to be an expert. You didn't have to come from money or have money. I saw that you could start literally from nothing and build it into something magical, something that you'd be proud of, and something that you could leave to your children when you're done. So I've always been fascinated by network marketing. Now, I never made it work. So let's make that abundant. 12, 13 companies before I finally found one that was able to work for me. Now, one common thread in all that is that I was a part of all of them. So the problem was probably more me than the company, but that's neither here nor there. The reality is 8 years ago, everything changed. So 8 years ago, I found myself right smack in the middle of a divorce. I was a high school principal. We had 5 kids, and literally fighting for everything in that moment kind of left me financially destitute. Like, I did not have enough money to do basic things for my children. I had to move in with my parents. Like, there was more negative than positive in my bank account, if you guys know that feeling. And so it was hard to do, like, get my kids haircuts, to take them to get an icy after school. Like, I was that bad of shape financially. And that's when I met Wes Bewley. Like, I already knew Wes because he was married to Amanda, and we were friends from college. So I knew Wes, and I never met Ashton at this point, but I had never won in network marketing. So here's my problem. I had to make money. I could not leave the home any more than I already was as a principal. And my only option was to go into network marketing because I didn't want to do real estate after school. That would take me away from my kids. I didn't want to tutor again because that would take me out of the home and away from my kids. So I had to find a way to work from home and make those ends meet. So where that took me to was going to find a mentor. And so for those of you who've never found a mentor yet financially, it's probably the greatest single thing you can do. I found somebody who was already winning in network marketing, and I went directly to him and I asked him to help me. And so Wes actually showed me what to do. He sent me our launch system, and what ended up happening blew my mind. I actually made $1,200 my first month. Now, that may not be life-changing money for y'all, but I'm telling you, for me, in that moment, it brought me to tears because I knew that money was going to allow me to get my kids school clothes, their haircuts, their shoes, and whatever fees they needed to get back involved in sports and dance. Friends, without that money, I couldn't have done any of that stuff. So for me, life-changing. And that's why I love this industry. Like, you don't have to start, you don't have to be rich, you don't have to do any of those things. You just have to want it. And in that moment, guys, I found a way to make extra income without leaving my house. So I could still be there with my kids and then go do what I needed to do for my family financially, but not losing my relationships with my kids because I just was not willing to do that. And it changed my life forever.
That is such a relatable story. And we are like, I think all of us have been maybe not directly in your shoes, but we've all felt that pressure of we need to step up. Something needs to change. We need to make a shift. And here at Prayer and Peptides, we talk about signals and listening to those signals. So what were the signals in your life that were calling you that made you make that change? That was really the catalyst and the shift of I can believe in myself and I can make this step and I can step into this industry. Like, what was the pre-thought before everything kind of shift? Like, when did you decide to listen to the signal that was going to make it different, that changed the world for you?
Well, for me, it was, I felt like I didn't have a choice. Like, I think sometimes when we feel so like desperate, we turn to terrible things. In this case, I turned to a friend. Like, and I'm so thankful that I turned to network marketing. I felt like God was clear saying, you're not leaving the house any more than you are. Your kids need you at home. So I felt that for sure. And so that forced me into looking for ways to make money from home, which led me to network marketing because at that point, like, Facebook was a thing. Like, you could sell on social media. And so it was just getting popular back then. And, you know, I saw Wes's page and I was like, you know what? Like, if he can do it, I can do it. And if he's willing to help me, I mean, I got to at least try. And so I'll be honest, I didn't know I was going to win. Like, I didn't believe I was going to win. I just knew I had to fight. I knew there was no way I couldn't do something because otherwise my kids don't play sports. Otherwise, my kids never get their own house. Like, we just live with my parents forever. Like, those were things I couldn't live with. And I think when you get to a place in your life where you're so miserable with where you are, like, you're willing to try anything. And that's where I was.
Okay, so let's fast forward. You met with the mentor, you met Wes. I also heard you say you had been through multiple companies, but fast forward now, really, how have you used that to now win here? Like, what's the difference? What's the Tug version now that's winning and what works?
So, number one, now I know that it's more about hard work than talent. So I used to think it was like, oh my gosh, I just wasn't good enough. It had nothing to do with good enough, because reality is even a broke clock is right twice a day, right? Like even if you're terrible at anything, if you just work at it enough, sooner or later you're going to get a victory, or you're going to get right. Like if you're just willing to mess it up, then sooner or later it falls into place because you get better. Because there's no way you can practice something over and over and over again and not get better. So I learned that when I first met Wes 8 years ago. So I came into this knowing I could win. Like, it's one thing to think you could win, but to absolutely know you can win is a different game. So now it doesn't matter if things are good or things are bad. I just keep plugging away. Like, the one thing I would say to anyone who's trying to figure out if it's possible because if you keep chopping the wood, like if you go to a tree with an axe, I don't care how big the tree is, and you chop at it every day, eventually that tree is going to fall. Like, it just has to fall. And so as long as you're willing to keep chopping, I don't know how long it's going to take you. I don't know how often you're willing to sharpen that axe so it cuts faster, right? There's things you can do to speed up the process. I don't know if you're going to work out in the gym to be able to swing the axe stronger, right? So that's like building skills, building muscles. But I do know as long as you don't quit, that tree is going down. We get to decide how fast. But the number one difference from then to now is now I know. Like, you can't talk me out of network marketing, because I know without a shadow of a doubt, as long as you don't quit, you're going to reach the top. Well, for me, it's simple. The people that feel negative about MLM, they don't really understand it. I would even venture to say they've tried and probably failed at it, or they heard a story of someone who failed at it. But what most people do is lump us into just a big old pyramid scheme. MLM, multi-level marketing, is not a scheme. It's a business model, no different than insurance, no different than real estate, where there's someone at the top who has knowledge, and they broker other people and other teams. And because they're guiding and helping them, they get a percentage of the business. So network marketing is very similar. You're able to go out and recruit other people, build as many teams as you want, and the company's going to pay you to the level at which you serve your community. So if you help a realtor sell millions of dollars as a broker, well, you get 3%. And no one has a problem with that. But network marketing is no different, and everyone has a problem with it. But again, it's because somebody tried and failed. But the problem with that is they're measuring failures to actually people who take it serious. See, if they measured college by how many dropouts there were, nobody would go to college. If they measured college by how little people make from their degree, nobody would go to college. If you put everyone in that category. Real estate agents, same thing. If you took all the people who got licensed to be real estate agents, you would find that the average income for a real estate agent is a couple thousand a year, because they're adding all the failures to the mix. But they don't do that to real estate agents. They only do it to network marketers. And the reason why, I have no idea. But I do know everything is structured. Every money-making mechanism is in the shape of a pyramid. There's a leader at the top, whether it's a CEO or a manager or something. And then there are other levels of leadership to which make less money. Like, it's built that way. So the further you go down, the further people make. Guys, that's a pyramid. The military is a pyramid. Education's a pyramid. Like, the principal at any school, I don't know if y'all know this, but they have to make the highest salary. Like, it's part of the contract. No matter how long someone else has been there, no matter how good a football coach is, the principal must be the highest paid salary. Pyramid. Teachers make less, janitors make less than teachers, but everyone's part of the school. Everything's a pyramid.
So you've been in enough of different companies to see how companies do it different. And you get into a company and they're supposed to be the best or do the best, or they do it differently or whatever. But I think that, or what do you think this industry has gotten wrong? And what do you believe with how, as a sales force, that we've demanded that companies start doing it different so it can go right to be done well?
That's really a great question. Historically, one of the biggest problems with network marketing is there was this huge buy-in. So it was hard for the average person to get involved. So people were afraid of that. Then the second problem was there was this monthly thing. Like you literally had to pay monthly to be able to be part of the team or part of the company to make money at all. Well, that's very frightening for a stay-at-home mom or a single mom who's got children and they know that a monthly commitment is the real thing. Like when they're literally on a fixed income and they don't have an extra 100 to just put away every month, they're not even sure if they can pay their bills every month. So to ask them to commit to that was also scary. And then there was also this idea that the only people that made money were the biggest builders. So you might have a fun network. You might be an incredible salesperson, but not want to build the team. Maybe that's not your skill. Well, most companies, that wouldn't make you any money. Like the only way you could increase your income would be to make money. So those to me are the biggest challenges that kept people out of this industry or afraid of it altogether, gave it a bad stigma. Well, I feel like our company, Make, has completely addressed those major concerns. Number one, it's free to join. Number two, if you don't want to buy anything at all, you don't have to, and you can still make money. And most importantly, number three, whether you want to build a team or you just want to sell on social media, you can build a massive income. Like our top money earner right now did it through selling product on her personal Instagram page. She's making, I don't even know if we're allowed to say her income. Let's just say she's making more in a month than most like executives make in a year. Like it's insane money. And she didn't do it by building a team. She did it by selling product on her page. So to me, those are the three biggest things that we do very different.
I love that. And I want to talk a little bit, Tug, about one thing that I've noticed about you over the last year, which I'm super proud of you for. You have made not only a commitment and been very disciplined with your business, but also your physical health. I've really seen how that is intertwining together. Can you kind of talk about specifically around building your affiliate marketing career and then also having it specifically around the natural peptides and what you're doing with your own health?
Yeah. So in this space, you can win no matter what you look like. It's one of the best things about network marketing. No matter what your background is, race, religion, color, anybody can win in this space. But I felt a tug on my heart because I was making quite a bit of money in this industry selling health products. And it just kind of got to me. It was like, here I am selling this incredible weight loss system. Like peptides are literally making a difference all over the world, but I wasn't a living example. So I just was like, yes, I'm winning. And yes, I could keep winning without getting in shape. But how much more powerful would my testimony be if I looked the part? Like people could say, oh my God, Tug used this system to go from this to that. It's called being a product of the product. How much more of a difference would I make if I just jumped all the way in and decided to stop blocking my blessing by saying, well, I've never been in shape. Like this is just my body type. Like a lot of people hide behind that excuse. I got a slow metabolism. Friends, let me tell you something. You might have a slow metabolism, but you can still make choices to help your metabolism. And I was not. These peptides have made such a difference in my life because they've helped change how I feel. Like, I don't know if y'all know this, but how you feel dictates what you do. So if you feel muddy, if you feel terrible, you're not going to want to go to the gym. But if you have a little pep in your step and you actually have a goal and you have a vision and then you feel good, guess what? It's a little easier to walk in those doors. And so that's kind of what happened for me. I just saw all these other people making all these transformations. I'm like, man, I'm being left out here. So I decided to jump on the board and take them with sincerity and integrity. Friends, our products aren't like magic potions. Like you actually got to be consistent with anything for something to work. But I'll tell you, down 39 pounds. Only regret I have is that I didn't take them serious sooner.
So here's my question, Tug. Did you start the peptides and not change your lifestyle first, or did you change your lifestyle and then start the peptides?
So
Where
100%.
is that? I'm
For me, I started with just taking the peptides. Like that's where I was like, look, I have to start somewhere because it's all about habits. So yes, it would have been cool to not drink and not eat as bad, but to do all those at once, man, that wasn't going to happen. So my initial thing was just, let's get on the peptides. Let's get that in my system. Well, you know what happened? I started sleeping better. I started noticing my clothes fit a little looser, and this is not changing anything. And I was like, man, these peptides are doing their thing. Well, then I was just like, what if I just made one change? Like I didn't try to change everything. What if I stopped eating after 9? Like that was the first thing I did, just stop eating late. A few pounds, I was like, man, this is cool. I'm feeling good. Now, I always hit the gym here and there, but what blew my mind, I didn't change my gym routine. But the next time I went to hit the same muscle group, like I was doing biceps, and I realized the first time in years, like the weight I was doing felt easy. I was like, whoa. And then the next time I went to triceps, again, guys, I played college football. Like I know how to lift, but I'm not kidding when I tell you, I was blown away by how much stronger I started to get at 48, by the way. And so then I started getting real serious. I was like, man, I know we've been telling everyone about these peptides, but now I can feel them. And so my recovery, whatever was happening, I was gaining strength, doing what I've done pretty much my whole life. All of a sudden, I just started getting stronger. So yeah, I took it real serious after that. I started going to the gym every day. I was like, man, this stuff's starting to work. So, but that's what happens in life. Like when you change a habit and you feel a little energy and you get some results and you're like, oh, let me feel that dopamine again. Or let me get that hit again. And so now, like every single day, I'm taking my peptides because I know that starts my day in the right direction. And it's almost just that habit culture that I can't go back.
That's wonderful, Tug. And I love that explanation of it. We're going to take a quick pause. Did you know we're on social media? You can find us on Instagram and TikTok, where we share more about prayer, peptides, health, faith, and the behind the scenes. Come hang out with us over there and send us a message and let us know you are listening to this podcast.
Tug, I've really enjoyed having you here today, and I feel like I've learned so much from you. And I know that this question that I'm about to ask you, I'm going to learn so much more. You're going to drop all these little golden nuggets. So what would you say are the biggest lessons you learned so far when it comes to rebuilding and rebranding and starting something new and just going for it?
So that's such a good question. Number one, like if you're going to rebuild, I really sincerely feel like people look at it the wrong way. They think like starting over, is starting from zero. And one of the best things I've ever heard is that when you're starting over, you're never starting from zero. You're starting from wisdom. Like you know more than you knew last time. That's not starting at ground zero. That's starting from experience. So whatever level you were at, even if you didn't win, you learned something. You experienced something. And if you learn from those lessons, then you don't have to feel like you're starting all the way over because sometimes that can feel daunting. And then the other thing I would say is don't look too high up past the mountain, right? Sometimes we get this idea in our head, hey, we want to be a millionaire. But friends, you got to take the first step. Like if people would just focus on the next step, number one, they would never feel overwhelmed. And number two, they would never feel like they're far away. Because when you feel like the goal is so far away that it's impossible, well, then you end up quitting because it's unrealistic. But could everyone make $1? Just one profitable dollar? Could everyone get one customer? Could everyone learn how to recruit one team member? Can everyone get on one call? Just the next call. Like, look at it as a step by step instead of a huge jump. And everyone's heard this before, but the best way to eat an elephant is one bite at a time.
Tug, it has been so wonderful spending this time with you today and just hearing your insight. One thing that I love about you is you are real, you are honest, and we could not have picked a better person to have pour into us about finances, your journey. And I know that this is going to resonate with so many people.
We are so glad that you took the time to join us for this episode. And I feel like Tug has so much knowledge and wisdom that we need to have him back on and give him another topic to talk about, because we could just let him go and just sit here and listen to him and have a completely full episode. He doesn't need us, but we're happy to need him.
That is so true. And being a certified leadership coach, I'm sitting here and I'm like, man, he really knows his stuff. Like, I just love listening. I feel like I get such great leadership, just education from you. So thank you so much for being here. Guys, if this conversation spoke to you today, will you share it with someone who needs the encouragement? Thanks for being here. And until next time, stay prayerful,
Stay focused,
and stay purposeful, one signal at a time.
If something in today's conversation stirred you, send it to the person who came to mind. That's how this message moves, person to person, and we can't do it without you. If you want to stay connected, go ahead and subscribe, like, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's next. All the resources and goodies are linked in the show notes, and we'd love to continue the conversation with you over on Instagram. Until next time, stay prayerful, stay curious, and keep listening to the signals.
The content shared on Prayer and Peptides podcast is for educational, informational, and inspirational purposes only. This podcast is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease, nor is it a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Discussions around peptides, nervous system regulation, stress, sleep, hydration, and wellness are presented as general educational concepts and reflections on the body's design, not as medical recommendations. Always seek the advice of your physician, a licensed healthcare provider, or qualified medical professional regarding any medical condition, symptoms, medication, supplements, or health discussions. Never disregard or delay seeking professional medical advice because of something you heard on this podcast. The host and guests of Prayer and Peptides are not acting as medical providers. Any personal experiences or stories shared are anecdotal and not intended to imply guaranteed outcomes. Spiritual reflections, prayer, and scripture-informed insights are offered as relational and supportive practices, not as replacements for medical or mental health care. By listening to this podcast, you acknowledge that you are responsible for your own health decisions and that Prayer and Peptides assumes no liability for actions taken based on the information presented.